No.
We're there. All right, everybody. This is Faux Show number 6, and I got my very special guest, a great friend of mine who's been kind of a mentor to me recently. His name is Beau Lasagna.
Beau Lasagna here in the building.
Here we go.
Happy to be here.
So there's been a shit ton going on recently. We've both been trying to walk the path of sobriety. It's been rough. It's been a little rougher for me recently. I've been struggling a bit more. You've been doing a little bit better, but that's been a little inspiring for me.
I'm also the wise old man.
Yeah, well, not yet.
I'm getting there.
The wise young man beyond your years. But yeah, so I've been struggling with my sobriety. I ended up, everybody, I don't know, it's pretty common knowledge. I ended up in a mental facility for 17 days where I met some people who I actually ended up really liking and still am friends with, which is great. But yeah, the drinking was real bad. I was drinking a lot. I guess it's kind of an understatement. I was drinking all day, every day, and I've been able to quell that, or not even quench that. I've been 37 days clean. I had one slip up with wine, and 67 days before that. So I've been doing pretty okay. There's other substances that I've been trying to get off of, or at least wean myself off of, do less of. I think
you're still looking better than I've ever seen you look, at least in, well, yeah, actually ever.
Yeah.
Since I've known you. We've known each other for, what's it been, 5 years now?
Yeah,
about?
something like that. Come up on the mic.
And you know, I think during pretty much almost the entire, at least first 3 or 4 years there, we were doing drugs together. We primarily knew each other from mutual friends, getting high. We liked the exact same drugs.
Yeah, it was Paul, I think, was our mutual acquaintance.
Yeah, as he is for many.
Yeah, God. He does bring a lot of people together.
He does bring people together. But it evolved from that, I think. And, you know, as we've been in very dark holes at different times, and I think I just started making slightly better decisions, at least maybe about a year and a half ago now, and have definitely come to a place where I feel like things are managed, but I still have my problems, my slip-ups, and it's kind of just about building a little bit every day to make things better, continue reinforcing those good habits, and forgiving yourself for the days that aren't as great as the other ones, because that's going to happen.
Right, and that's one of the harder parts, I think, for me personally, and I think for you too. I think we have a really hard time. It's hard to forgive yourself a lot of the times for the things you do, and you know, there's sometimes where I hate to add this phrase, but it's always Ollie Sykes. He said it in a thing, you know, I want to cut myself out of my skin, and I get that feeling where it's just like, I don't want to be me. I don't want to be here. I don't want to, and it's not that you want to kill yourself or anything like drastic. It's just that you don't want to feel the way that you're feeling.
Sure. I think that's super common, especially in the early stages of recovery, but I can tell you that for most people, I think that does get better, that sense of depersonalization, derealization, not feeling like things are really real, or that you're in your own body, or just feeling comfortable in your own skin. I really think that those feelings for most start to dissipate with not just sobriety, but lifestyle changes. It's if you don't feel like you exist in your body, you have to add some meaning to your life. And once you start finding some meaning and purpose and daily drive, even if it's small things, that will really help you shake those issues.
Agreed. And I wish I could do those things more, because we were even talking about that, you know, how you take your walks and everything, and those, even just going for walks
three walks a day, baby.
Thrice daily.
Change your life. Get up and stretch in the morning.
Yeah, just the little things.
Go for a couple walks, man.
A little bit of yoga?
Change your little bit of, that, you know, one thing at a time. But my routine right now is get up, take a walk, come back, meditate, do a little bit of yoga, and then I just take 2 short walks some points throughout the rest of the day, and I swear it's changed my life more than almost anything else. It's crazy.
Well, I've seen it.
It's so simple.
Oh, I've seen it. And yeah, you'd think it's always the things that are, it's like one of those things where it's like, it's simple, but it's complex, you know, like it affects you in such a different way. Like, who knows what that does to your serotonin levels and everything.
I wish I was smart enough to know more about it.
Me too.
All I know is, like, one of the coolest parts is not only does obviously exercise help you, but it gives you an opportunity to process and work through the thoughts that cause you anxiety when you're sitting down trying to do something during those walks. So like I get a lot of that shit out, and then I'm able to come home and actually do things that are productive. And when I feel myself getting worked up again, I might take another walk. I might whatever it is to, find some comfort. That's not just immediate substance use. It's like kind of retraining your brain to go back to those good habits to relieve itself of its anxiety or its pain.
Well, here's an interesting thing. When I was rehab with this man Sacco, brilliant. Fucking pissed me off. He was the last person to see me off because he got kicked out of treatment for being suicidal. But he was like, he just like explaining things to me. But they call it you're being activated. Like when you feel activated right now. Now you take a walk. You go from like, say like you want to use it as like a 7, brings it down to like a 2, just say a general idea, something like that.
Right.
And he talks about, we did ice, dude, it was really cool.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, activated. I like that. And like, because
it brings you to the present too.
Totally. And that's the whole thing. Because that's what we did is like we together, me and him, both had fucking buckets of ice. I don't think I've told it on the podcast. And it like activates your mammalian dive reflex. When you put your head in water, everything comes close to you.
Yeah.
And like it immediately just resets it's like a reset button. It's insane.
You noticed I do that on all our walks. When we walk by the creeks, I always splash some really cold water on my face. Same thing. And maybe it's just, I don't know every individual like thing that does that, but I think I'm starting to find these smaller habits throughout the day and these smaller little things I can do that activate me, bring me back to center, bring me back to present, and stop either that cycle of thinking about the past and that frustration or the worries about the future. It kind of just realizes that all you can do is try to better yourself in your future by activating and being present in this moment, or waste a bunch of time thinking about the past.
Right, which is really easy to do.
So easy. God, I spent so much time doing it.
Yeah.
Beat the shit out of yourself.
I know you have. I've seen you. I've seen you in bad places. We've both seen each other in some bad places, man.
It's crazy, man. It's almost unrecognizable now. I mean, I'm so glad I went through some of those things and learned the lessons I did. And even seeing you in the early stages, it's just crazy how physically different people start looking once they're on a path that's better for them, that they really want to be on and they enjoy. I mean, I can see it in myself now. It takes a little bit longer, I think, to see that in yourself.
Agreed.
But with other people, it's so noticeable, and it definitely reinforces my own actions. Like, this is why I'm doing this, to try to get better too, to continue down a path that's going to make me into the person I want to be.
Right. Which is ultimately what we all want to do.
Right. And it's different for everyone, but I think there's some simple, some rules with wiggle room that you can follow.
I agree.
You know what I mean? There's some good strategies out there. I think it's a better way to put it.
Yeah, I agree. There are ways, believe it or not, I know my drug addicts, everybody, there are ways to cope with things without using drugs. And like, I still have my struggles with drugs, but I've worked on myself a lot, and I've been I was in a really good place for a while there, and I fell off a little bit, but I'm still working on it. I'm just trying to make sure that I don't go back to, and it's not, the thing is, and people say this, it's a cliche thing, but it's not the substance or how much you use or how much you abuse it, it's how it affects your life. And like,
right.
I was drinking 30 drinks of vodka, I was drinking a shit ton of vodka for somebody my weight, but like, it was affecting my, but it was affecting my life in a really horrible way.
Yeah,
and like,
you were so physically ill.
Yeah, I went to the hospital a bunch of times.
Every week, twice a week.
Yeah, no joke. Yeah. Legit. I went to the hospital, legit. I think 7 days in a row one time, or 6 days in a row. And then I ended up in the ICU for 7 days for drunk, and I was walking around thinking I was bowling. And
look at you now, freaking on a podcast, doing something that I think you really love, and also you're working all these steps and lessons you've learned.
Right, and
incredible.
These like just talking out loud. This is why I like to do it myself too, is because it helps me.
It's therapy in its own way.
It helps me figure things out though too.
Yeah, it's like therapy with yourself. Really having conversations with yourself and positive reinforcing conversations is one of the strongest tools that we as people have to combat all the craziness going on inside our head. And JP is a big proponent.
I was going to say,
Peterson, for those who don't know, maybe on the cast, but
he's great. First of all, I recommend him. His videos, everything. He has snippets that I highly recommend to start with. 15-minute snippets. See if you like him or not. If you like him, go watch his 2.5-hour biblical lecture series. That's 12 hours. It's fantastic. I got halfway through. It's fantastic. he's been such a positive and motivating force in my life, and like he's acted as a father figure, and I've never had something like that.
And try to really investigate him a bit before you, because you will find a lot of bullshit about him, and I think it's important for most people to try to look through that a little deeper. He's not a misogynist, he's not a racist, he's not part of the alt-right. He's a clinical psychologist or psychiatrist, one of the two.
Psychologist, classical liberal.
That's really smart, and he just gives a non-biased opinion about everything, and not everybody likes that.
Well, and the problem is he was honest about his language, because they wanted to change language in Canada, and
that's where it started.
His whole thing was like, it wasn't that he didn't want to use somebody's pronouns. He had no problem if you want to use a pronoun or whatever. The problem is the government was going to dictate language, which is killing freedom of speech, which he had a problem with. So he's a big proponent with that. So if you like freedom of speech, Jordan Peterson is the man to do that. He's the one that got me to read. I read his book, and that I continued on and started reading more. And yeah, he's just I'm a big proponent of him.
I think that's a good segue to, we could talk about JP all night, but so when you typically start that path of recovery, getting sober, whatever, lessening your use, whatever kind of new, better path you're taking, I think it's important to not only work with yourself, obviously, and learn to love and forgive yourself, which is a hard task, but it's worth pursuing.
100%.
But you also have to find other people to inspire you and support you, whether that's someone like Jordan Peterson from YouTube videos, but also people in your immediate life. Like
yes.
I'll use us as an example.
100%.
We've shared some of our darkest times, but we've also always been there for each other. You've let me stay with you when I was couch surfing and addicted to heroin and been fucking around with my life, and you've let me come over so many times when I was living at my parents' house or in and out of rehab, and so now I've tried my best to be here for you through your process.
Right, and you're the one, like, there's a lot of people in my life that are there. Tyler's there, Grant's there, like, whatever, but you're the one that, like, reaches out and makes sure that everything's okay.
And especially when you live a certain lifestyle like we have for a long time, you lose so many friends along the way that you really start to learn to look out for the ones that you care about, and also just you realize how important it is to be there for people that need it. I don't really see much other points in life besides being there for yourself and being there for the people you care about. I mean, you can eventually help the world, but I tell you one thing, you can't help the world before you help yourself or the people you care about.
Jordan Peterson's thing. First of all, fix yourself, get your shit together, clean your room, literally, metaphorically, put your house in order. Then what you can do is you can help your friends, okay? Great. Now, after that, you get to do this. Once you can get your friends and everything yourself, your immediate loved ones, then your friends, and then the community. And a lot of people in my generation, our generation, are trying to help the community without having their shit together, and it's fucking everything up. It really is. Because you guys, I understand Black Lives Matter. I get it. It's good. I get it. It's a good cause. Great, great people. But there's a lot of people out here that are,
people want to corrupt any cause.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. That's what it is. It's corruption too, and it
always happens when any kind of good or bad movement starts gaining traction. People get in there, they get their grimy claws in there, and they corrupt it to the point where it becomes something it's not.
Yeah,
it happens almost every time.
No, it happens every time.
Yes.
That's like, even, I hate to bring up Jordan Peterson, but even the Gulag Archipelago, which I actually have the Gulag Archipelago.
I know, I got it started. It's just such a big series.
Oh, it's so scary to read. Yeah, dude, 900, or it's like 1,100 pages. But the Gulag Archipelago, the main point about that is that in Soviet Russia, there were farmers, and there were farmers that were really good at their jobs. And what happened was the fucking government came in and said, hey, we're going to take all of your shit pretty much and make you guys go work into gulags in the fields and not like have money, like, because they got mad. The government got upset that there were farmers that were doing good. So it's the same kind of thing that happened in Nazi Germany. Yeah. I'm not smart enough and I don't know enough historically about this kind of stuff. So I won't try to even speak on that. But like, it's the same thing that happened in Nazi Germany with like corruption. Like, I don't know if Hitler started off as a good dude or with good intentions. I'm not sure about that.
Started off as a troubled dude, we'll say that.
For sure.
And you know what, you make a really good point. The other major issue is there's a million little actions within our social system, our socioeconomic system, all forms of government, all layers of society that contribute to these issues. And it's so many little building blocks that we'd have to knock down and put back together in a different way to fix things at this point. I mean, Hitler kind of got rolling the same way Trump has been gaining steam now. He stirred nationalism. And when you can stir nationalism with false ideas, that's how you really gain power, because the majority of the people aren't stupid, but they're not intelligent enough in a specific way to be able to really look at some of the information they're getting and be able to rationalize what is real, what's false, what are my own opinions, what are the opinions that people are trying to drill into me.
Right.
A lot of people will hop right on that bandwagon. So people like Hitler and Trump and a lot of other people were able to take power by essentially stirring nationalism around some cause and creating a sense of creating a sense that a nation wasn't secure where it was, and that'll get a lot of people in line real quick.
Yeah.
And also warp their perception of good and bad, right and wrong. I mean, people will do terrible things under the right circumstances.
That's the interesting thing too. Again, JBP, but talking about how you'd be because everybody says I would kill Hitler, I would nail Hitler. No, you wouldn't. You would be probably one of the soldiers, honestly. And that's like a hard thing to hear.
Yeah, getting near Hitler would be probably a big issue back then. If you wanted to do that. I know there were attempts, but
yeah, there was the Bierhall push was one of the attempts on his life, and they missed with the sniper shot. But man, yeah, it's I think it's really easy to get stuck into ideologies too, and I think a lot of us like ideologies because it's like it's something you can be a part of, and it's a group identity, and then you can tell everybody that's not in your group to go fuck themselves. I hate to bring like Black Lives Matter or whatever, but it's like you're the enemy if you're not with us, and it's like, whoa, no,
exactly. And people are really easy and quick to jump on that train of thought. The other issue is, I think here. For the first time, these issues are really on the home front for us for a long time. Don't get me wrong, America's gone through some dark phases, and in a way, we're lucky to be here where we're at now.
We are very lucky.
But at the same time, in our lifetime, we've never seen our country this chaotic, crazy, and unstable on a national stage and a world stage.
Agreed.
And it is hard. It's hard to be patriotic right now. It's hard to embrace a lot of things that just were normal in our day-to-day lives.
It's hard to like America.
Yeah, the pandemic, everything. We're in a weird place, but it's also in an odd way the perfect time to work on ourselves.
Yes, it is.
And that's what people should be focusing on, is how we can change ourselves in minor ways to further help the people around us in the world.
Personal responsibility.
But it doesn't come with looting, rioting, burning, or on the other side, MAGA people instigating situations as well. Both sides playing with fire in the streets is just not good for anybody. Let's get real,
No, and it's not and like you said, it's not that like they're not smart enough to comprehend these ideologies. They get sucked into this.
They're born into
beliefs,
it too, in a lot of ways.
A lot of them. But they get, a lot of them.
Yeah.
But they get sucked into. A lot of people, that's why JP talks about people my age. That's why all men my age want to shuck personal responsibility. I fucking hate personal responsibility. It's the worst. I don't want to fucking...
And I'm 29 and I'm just wrapping my head around not being a man-child.
Right.
And starting to take up some of those responsibilities.
Right.
Sometimes in our society too, it takes a while.
You're doing pretty good.
I am these days, but it took a lot of trial and error.
Yeah, I know it did.
Yeah. And you're gonna get there too, bud.
I hope so, man. Because like it's
there is no there to get. You just continue along your path and decide to go up or downhill.
Right. That's again, JP. We're either every day, every action, everything that we do is we're either aiming a little bit towards heaven or a little bit towards hell on earth.
And we create our heaven.
That's scary because the thing is too, either.
But at least know it's possible to create a heaven.
That's great. Beautiful thing. But the thing is, like, either everything matters or nothing matters. And if everything matters, then we have to take this shit seriously. And that's scary.
Seriously, and we'll never know. And going back to, once again, JP, I think we're going to try to make this the last time on this cast, so we talk about Jordan Peterson.
Well, he's good for right now, especially for young men, which we are. I think he's doing the Lord's work out there.
Yeah, no, he really is doing some important things, and I actually embarrassingly forget the point I was just gonna make.
Doesn't matter.
but
it's a podcast.
But JP is the man, yeah, and we just do got to take those baby steps, and he is a big supporter of changing yourself before you can change the world. And I think what I was going to say is he's a big a proponent of just the cool thing is we have that choice, and that's what we need to focus on.
Dude, we get
it's
to
like the fact that we have the ability to actually direct our lives this much. We don't have much control over the universe. Nobody does, but we have slightly more control than someone that's in a third world country living in
China.
Right. So we actually, if it's there and we can do good, what else is the point? We might as well try to do our best and be better, just in case there's something else. What else is the point? But to try to be the best person you can be.
Right. And
or you can be shitty. But
you could be, and it's really easy. And yeah, sometimes even with me, self-destruction is fun for me. But like, I don't like, not really, but like in my head, I'm like, I like
it gets less fun. So the older you get, the consequences.
Yeah, they do. It's just not bad. That's why I'm not doing heroin right now.
Exactly.
It's just too much.
Exactly. And in my younger years too, I was 22, you have a heroin run, a binge fuck up. Go to rehab, whatever, I'll bounce back. But then you literally look at yourself when you're 29. You're like, okay, wow, I've missed out on so much. I want to play catch up now. And it's not, I was embarrassed and frustrated and upset for a long time about that. And I have moved on and forgiven myself. But
good.
And I'm happy to be alive in the first place. But second of all, there's nothing wrong with starting to really try to redirect your path at 29, 39, 49, 59. It doesn't matter as long as you have arrived at a point where you're trying to do better and you want to build the life you want.
Well, the thing is too, and like right now, I think you're operating at say like 6% probably. I'm probably operating at like 2%. And the thing is, we have exponential growth. Like if you get to where you're operating at 50%, who the fuck knows what you'll be doing? You'll be creating masterpieces. You'll be making extremely good websites.
In psychology, there is no known limit to human potential and efficiency.
So cool.
Right. And yes, I mean, that's the other thing you talked about websites. I mean, finding a way to turn what you love into a career. I started off with doing fine arts. I still do it,
Of course.
Painting and drawing and trying to sell little things here and there.
Little things.
Though they've grown over the years.
I know.
I started messing around with graphic design and making, a little bit more money here and there, but still working in restaurants, still doing things I hated, being an alcoholic at times in bars, just hated my life.
Totally. That Dark Horse period was dark for you, buddy.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
When you really make the plunge into it, man, when you're really ready and committed, I mean, now I started down this path where I found a way to make my creative mindset and the way things I want to do into a career. And I'm happy and excited about doing that.
Yeah, but dude, you're doing so good doing it too.
I'm working hard right now, and that's a new feeling too. It took me a while to get adjusted to that new level of hard work, even when I first started school, because I was doing pretty good 6 months ago when I first started school, but it's like at first I forgot how to do homework and write papers and give presentations. It was so much more work than I was used to.
You're like an infant?
Yeah, but now that I've jumped back into that mindset of being in school, it's good for working at jobs too. I have a schedule, a routine, and school helps me put that
schedule. Did you wake up at around the same time every day?
I do. I typically wake up around 7 o'clock every day and get things rolling, sometimes a little earlier. But lately, I've been sleeping in till about 9:30. I think
that's not bad.
I think it's the change in the sun, A, and B, the smoke. So much smoke in the air has just made everyone more lethargic.
I've been groggy.
Barely see the sky.
I've been so groggy recently.
Yeah, seriously, shout out to anyone dealing with any of these issues with the forest fire on top of the pandemic, because I know times are tough out there, and it's just wild. Seriously, blessings. We're just getting a cloud of smoke. I know a lot of homes are burning out there, so stay safe, everybody. Stay safe, California homies.
Yeah, blessings to y'all. For real, blessings. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm thinking, where can we go?
Gosh, there's a million things we could talk about.
Today I abused my Adderall a little bit for the first time in a long time. I took an extra Adderall just because I was so groggy. Because
not the worst thing you could do.
I know, but I took Seroquel last night for the first time in a while, and I woke up with chocolate all over me.
That's classic Seroquel.
Yeah, dude, Seroquel.
I'm glad that you've stopped taking it so much, though. At first, it's a great sleep aid, but I don't trust it.
It makes me groggy. It helps me with my antipsychotics, but I think I should be taking probably 150 milligrams, which is a quarter of my dose.
For me, it was like help managing my antipsychotic stuff for a while.
Totally.
But then I was having really up and down days. I was having kind of weird effects, so I was just not willing to continue for the long run. But low doses, it was a great sleep aid for a short temporary period of time.
Right, and I think 100 because it does help my antipsychotic, and I do have the borderline personality.
Yeah.
And I think that about 150, I'm gonna try
Yeah,
to
you're
stick
gonna
with
have
that
to
for a little
play
bit.
with your dose.
Yeah, but and then I think the lithium though I think is actually helping. You know,
Yeah, lithium for someone who's a true bipolar 1 is one of the main things used to help.
it's been crazy because like even when I have like shitty days, which I have a lot, you know, of like hard days and shit, it's like I'm not like it's not like I want to kill like I you know my sense of humor my personality.
You can see it in
like,
you. You have found a newfound meaning for life.
It feels like it.
Yeah, and that urge. I mean, I know you still have your dark side of humor, and you still have so much work to do and shit going on. But like, you can see it. The reason that you're not actually suicidal anymore is because you've actually found some, even if it's minuscule, some meaning and purpose for yourself, your life, taking care of your loved ones. You want all those things, and now you realize that you can do them, and you're starting down that path.
It's
and you should be so proud of that.
I am, man, and it's scary and it's terrifying. And I sell shit, as you guys mentioned, you know, on eBay. I got turntable, I got fucking 3DSs, they're dope. Chrono Trigger, I got all this shit, and I got Wii's now.
Selling his body too.
I got well, yeah, I would if I could. I always said that, but I don't know if that's true. I don't think it would. I don't know if it could be weird old ladies and just go on dates and shit.
You know, you'd be a twink for the gay boys for sure.
Maybe that for
they
that.
Would love you. That I could. Little white boy.
But I got like I have 2 Nintendo Wii's right now. And like I've never played a fucking Wii or anything. And one of them sent me a goddamn Europe fucking plug instead of an American one, so I can't plug it in. So I have to buy one. So I have to buy one. They're $11, and like I'm in debt. I have a bunch of shit going on right now. I made a bunch of not a bunch. I made a couple of bad decisions that I actually can rectify. It's just gonna take a little while.
Yeah.
But like I got fucking game.
You trippy get back up.
I got a Grant's Game Boy, and it doesn't play Game Boy Advance games, but I refuse to fucking sell it or anything or give it away because like Grant gave I don't know.
I have a bunch of those things, sentimental connections.
Yeah, I just don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It just feels weird. Like and like because like I have much nicer Game Boys right there, but like whatever. And I got one that's broken and hinged.
And it's great that you're starting to understand that basically everyone needs a side hustle too.
Dude, yeah,
like, that's a great side hustle to learn and do as you look for work. Because like when both things are going well and you're more stable and you can combine those, you'll make a good amount of money. Dude.
Yeah, I know a little bit. And I gotta, cause like in a month or two, I'll be able to be a janitor again, and I'll be making $17 an hour, which is great. Cause they were so fantastic.
And it's a goal to work towards making sure you stay sober and stable so you can work that job.
Exactly. Cause if for those who don't know, I got fired after working 6 hours at a janitor contract company, and I fucked up. I fucked up hard. It really, really hurt me. But the people there were very cool. They dropped off my money yesterday. I gave them a Bible. I've been talking to them about certain things.
Yeah, you're gonna get that job back.
Well, yeah, they already said. They said when you're ready, and I said like a month or two. You know, because I really want to take the time to get my shit together. Yeah. But goddamn, yeah, it was really nice, and they're both very Christian people and everything. And one of them just like sent me some videos and talks about kind of how God works through you and how you're always where you're supposed to be and you're always doing what you're supposed to do. And I thought that was really cool. I thought that was a really interesting concept. Because I'm not big on like Christianity or anything in a natural way, but like to have somebody that's like pay like I don't know that was like paying that wants me to work and shit is like because it was really cool. They were literally like they weren't like when can you work, but they were like when you get your shit together you can work. They didn't say it like that, but they were like, you know, they said I'll pull this shit out just because this job meant so much to me because my buddy got it. It's
gonna be a great opportunity to get started. It's such good money and it's right down the road.
That's great.
Which is why I really think that maybe that was the universe giving you that as a wake-up call, like showing that you can still have this opportunity, but you really do need to make sure you're giving your mental state and your self-care 100% so you can go perform at work.
That's what I was talking about. I think the
Gavin's
gonna help, but I said no worries at all. Thanks.
No benzos at work.
I said fuck no, and I said thank you guys very much for coming out. And he said sure, no problem. Let's keep in touch. You're a great guy. Keep your head up, man. We really like you. We really like you. I would love to have you in the project at some point in time. Anyways, you've got a great future, man. Just stay strong. I would love to help you with your sobriety and your walk with God. Feel free to call or text anytime. And it was like, it was a nice message to get, man.
It is, and you don't have to be religious to take something good and positive from what somebody else is trying to put out there for you.
Totally, and the videos
belief systems don't affect people giving each other support and love and kindness out in the world, and that's a great lesson to take and pass on and, and experience yourself. Oh, sorry guys, like you just did.
I gave him that Bible, and he was like, blessings, blessings, and I was like, fucking. He like looked at it and looked just thrilled. It was great, man.
Hell yeah.
So like I was just like happy, and
take a month.
He drop ships and does like other shit. He has side hustles too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I want to learn.
Take a month and walk back in there looking really clean and sharp and together, and go get that job back.
Right? Yeah, that's the point. Until then, I'm also going to look for a job just to get my hustle. Yeah, why not?
Keep learning your side hustle.
And I'm keep learning what sells, what doesn't sell. The Wii's, I need to obviously need to get another cord, but I need to present in a different way. I need to like that fucking that's a Game Boy Color with a camera on it.
Hell yeah.
Which is insane. And like I have it on bid.
There's some rare things out there you can get
deals on. Somebody bid $25 for it, but I need to sell it for $65. But it's like still
deep. You'll get through it.
Yeah, it's just
and
like
the eBay and everything else will take a little while to get really flowing.
The thing
when it's flowing, it flows.
The thing though is like once I get, because Amazon now has a different thing. You can sell certain things. It's really weird, like these books. But like I have a like because I kill it on Amazon. Like I'm a great Amazon.
And there's a lot more people shopping on Amazon.
It's that, and it's just like a single deal. There's no auction. It's just like this.
Yeah,
here's the product. So like they have a program. It's $40 a month now to be a seller, and I'm like, okay. And there's like fees. I would have to look into it, but like
once you get the ball rolling,
yeah,
that might be worth it.
Yeah,
because that's an easy $40 you can write off because you're selling enough. That might be great.
Totally. And I want to make my own company. Josh Lobster LLC. I want to see if I can do that.
I need to start my LLC soon too.
I got those Wii's I got for like $30-$40 I think, maybe 50 at tops. And then I got 10 games that are chilling in the thing, and I'm just gonna add 5 games to each of them, and then sell those bad boys.
Hustling. So people, main point of all this is when you're trying to get off, whether you're trying to get sober from drugs and alcohol, or whether you're just trying to break any bad habit, you got to do other shit.
Yes.
And it sucks at first. I can tell you firsthand, it really sucks at first, but eventually you start falling back in love with the things you loved in the first place, and B, you find new things that you enjoy.
Absolutely.
To fill up your time with.
That's a huge one.
And that really starts reprogramming your brain to have those dopamine triggers revolve around the other things you're doing that are good for your life, and less around an immediate fix with drugs or alcohol. And that's the main way. It's just doing other shit to reprogram your brain to enjoy that shit again.
Right. And like that's what I think. Like I made today, I think I made $20 on eBay, and like that's nothing, but like it's not nothing, it all adds up.
Yeah, and you're lucky you're in a position where you're able to take the time to put yourself together, but you still have a roof over your head.
Dude, I'm
food on the table, because there's plenty of people trying to do what you're doing right now, sober and everything, but with no home and with no real support.
I have like a little bit of I've made some money in the past 90 days, but I've been like, you're right. I'm so lucky, because I get to stay with my mom, who's is the best person I've ever met. So that's also very fortunate, but she's just very cool. And like, I get to learn all of this, like how to sell a turntable, how much will it sell for? Like, what can I do? Like, where can I sell something? Can I sell a mixing board? That's a mixing board. It's worth like $200.
Answers we all need to find out.
Right, and this mixing board is $200, but I need to get a $50. I was talking to a guy, and he was like, they sell if you get the plug for it, and the charger's $50. So like, you got to invest money sometimes to make money. Yeah. That's just like you with your chargers. Shit, did you bring those?
No, I can't find them.
No, I mean the actual, just the system.
I'll bring those next time.
Yeah, for sure. We'll take care of that.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
But so my mom, when we were in high school at some point, one of her friends was doing this eBay hustle just with clothes, and she like taught my mom how to do it. And so over the course like the first 6 months, I want to say, like she was just making a little bit of money every month, but as she like got better at it faster, and like her reputation on eBay and her sales went up, all of a sudden she was making like between $1,000 and $3,000 a month, just going to thrift stores, finding brand name clothing, not even all super expensive, but a lot of it, and then just selling it all on eBay, and she made a dickload of money.
That's what I want to start doing, that and books, because I got 2 polos that I want to sell. that are XL. I think I'm gonna keep the
Yeah.
Under Armour hoodie because it's
Dude,
so
books
nice.
too is interesting because that's actually a business that you could get into as you learn more about them. You could end up working for some kind of like bookstore or
Dude, I'd love
some
to
kind
work.
of like place like that
Boulder
because
Bookstore would be sick.
yeah, dude, especially if you have a knowledge of books and authors, they absolutely love that
Well,
stuff.
I'm learning like
Yeah,
slowly, just like
everything's an opportunity to learn.
yeah, it's like an
Uh,
osmosis though. Like I just learned, like
yeah,
through these Bibles, like
yeah, I'm gonna look at some stuff too.
yeah, for sure. But like, yeah, I got like, cause I have some fucking sick books from my dad. Like I have Iliad and the Odyssey from like 17, I think 29 or something. Yeah, 29. And like I have a bunch of like really cool books, and all this is just like it's just stuff that like I want to do on a side hustle. And then like there's some things like I was talking to my buddy Grant, and it's just like I want to be able to give my homies the books too, give them a discount, of course. But like
Oh yeah,
it's just I don't know, like you said, it's all about finding a side hustle. Really helped me like do something. I don't recommend fucking selling weed or something. I would recommend you go on eBay or you go on Google, you go on Walmart, you go to Marshalls, you start figuring out you QR code scanner on your phone,
yeah.
you scan whatever it is. If it's worth money, then boom. If it's worth more than you can get it for, like you just throw it in your fucking basket. And
I think you
that's
made a good point there too. Just going back really quick too about not jumping to something like weed, or if you have like drugs sitting around for whatever reason, getting into that.
no,
Because
that's
honestly, it's just maybe there are some people out there that can do this, but time and time again over the course of 10 years, I have proved to myself that even if you have a problem with one substance, once you start surrounding yourself with other things, you either will start doing them a lot and they'll start taking your life down track in completely other ways. I still, even though I was a heroin and speedball junkie for so long, attribute alcohol to some of the most down times of my life, and I was never even that big of an alcoholic.
me too.
Same thing with smoking pot in a way. At times, it's been really helpful for me, but the more I try to accomplish and the older I grow, I just can't live in that fog anymore. It completely makes me lazy, and it honestly, weed and alcohol fuck up my life just as much as dope, just in a different and longer period of time kind of way.
100%. I think that's
But
true with everybody though.
yeah,
Because like you said, I just quit. I've had that bowl packed for like I think it's been like 7 or 8 days now.
nice.
And like
Maybe we'll change that tonight.
like I'll hit, no, I mean like shit. Like I'll hit the fucking bowl. Like if I'm freaking out,
Sure.
like I'll hit the bowl just like like it's at nighttime, just chill out,
And I've had my moments where I've still taken a hit off a joint or two at night here and there, and sometimes it's great at night. But every time I make the random weird mistake to hit a bowl during the day, which I haven't done for a long time now, it fucks up my whole day.
Fucks with your whole day.
So it's like,
because like I get the whole paranoia, all that shit, and all that, but like I'm used to that. That's what weed is for me, Like that's just what it is. But
it's only nice if you have a bunch of other things you're already on, which doesn't like improve the situation.
No. So yeah, stay away from. I would stay away from unless you're fucking. I know there are some people out there that are fucking smart. You like doctors and shit that fucking are selling liquid morphine and blah blah blah.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. Yeah.
No, seriously.
There's all kinds of crazy shit.
Seriously, like there's some people that are seriously they don't do drugs and they sell everything.
Oh, yeah.
And like that, God bless them. But like,
there's also ones that sell their drugs and get addicted to them. Like I've heard stories about doctors that like over order shit tons of their opiates, and they have like a room filled with them. They sell a ton, they take a ton. They're just completely addicted for years.
I've heard, dude.
Eventually,
the guy, Dr. Paul from the Big Book, actually. I hate to bring up the Big Book, but this is one of the funny. Dr. Paul, this motherfucker was just taking like I think it was morphine at the time or something, and he was just tying off and shooting up. He was a doctor, and he was doing fucking like surgery on hair, like on morphine.
Yeah, he knew exactly how to hit a vein.
Yeah. Oh yeah, easy.
Yeah, I'm sure he was just fine. Some people are super functional like that. Like I have met super high functional,
weird
6-figure making individuals that are completely addicted to heroin and other drugs.
I've seen not personally, but documentaries where those dudes who just they buy Adderall for the retarded like price, like fucking twice, like they buy like 30s for like $60 for $30 milligrams because they're doctors and like they don't know how to find a plug or whatever, but like they're completely addicted. The point is to like Adderall, and like they function all night, they sell like they do all their shit, they do all their work, they get everything done, and like they can function that way. And like, but those are one in fucking, who knows, 1 in 1,000, 1 in a million. Like,
yeah, and it depends on the person, the drug, so many things.
Yeah, there's so many factors that come into play.
But still, too, you see this a lot more often. But like, CEOs of Fortune 500 companies that drink themselves to death by the time they're 45. That's, I'd say, a bit more
Cirrhosis.
common, but like, seriously, man, like that the alcoholism thing, especially because it's more socially acceptable,
And blow too. I feel
yeah,
like
it's so, and especially depending on the industry,
100%.
so rampant. It's just like a lot of people do drink themselves to death at a young age, but
I know.
opiates are really coming in there hard with all ages of people.
I know. So my dad, because this is interesting, because my dad was like, my dad probably would have got cirrhosis like even younger, because he was from what I understand, he was a really bad alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
He got sober at like 30, no, like 28, 29. And like what happened to him is he became a horrible, horrible opioid addict. I always say this, but 500 milligrams of morphine a day, 32 milligrams of Dilaudid, 2 milligrams of Xanax, whatever. But like all that shit together, and it just fucking crushed his liver. Cirrhosis of the liver,
Yeah.
fucking, and then all the smoking and all that shit. Even though he stopped smoking when he was 47, had a heart attack, fucking, it caught up with him, man. Lung cancer.
Yeah, it can.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that kind of stuff.
Seriously.
It's very deadly. And I know a comedian, Dan Soder, who his dad died, I think at 36 from cirrhosis, which is so young.
Dude, I mean, that was about to be you.
That's what everybody was saying. That's what the doctors were saying.
Yeah, and you're 25.
25.
Yeah.
They were telling me I was gonna be dead by like 35, and like, gee, I didn't give a shit at first, but then I was like, fuck, like that's young.
And you also don't know. It could have been later. It could have been early. It could have been in 2 weeks. You just don't know how your body is going to continue to process.
Right. It could have been one of those vomiting episodes that just popped a hole in my lung. I've had that happen before.
Exactly. Not the alcoholism, but being so sick all the time can easily cause something that will kill you in a week or two.
I had acute pneumothorax where lung, like it wasn't. I didn't have a collapsed lung, but I almost did. Like air was escaping. So like, yeah, shit like that can happen. So be careful, because that was when I was fucking like 19 or 20, and I was taking triple C's and I just got sick. God, fucking triple C's.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, not great.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah, not great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, everybody take care of yourselves out there.
Seriously.
Do the best that you can. It's hard, man.
Baby steps too, and don't fault yourself for taking a step backwards. Don't beat yourself up too much. Try to love yourself, but really just baby steps. Break your goals down into small little goals throughout the day and try to accomplish just a couple of them. And that'll make each day a little bit better.
And not only that, but those are that's exponential growth. Those grow. Those baby goals. You know, you had one walk a day, doing one little bit of meditation for 2 minutes, and then meditation probably turned to 5 minutes.
Exactly.
You know, and it progresses. Exponential growth, man. It's so cool. Also, it works the other way. So you do a little bit of heroin. Blah blah blah. It turns out
way faster exponential growth usually there too.
Yeah, but it's the same thing.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Except for like that stuff, meditation and walking felt to me more like a staircase over the course of a month. Where if I were to start doing heroin tomorrow, it would be like one of the big slides at a water park that you zip down.
Yeah.
It's like that over the course of 2 weeks. So.
Yeah, instead of it's like fucking doing that and then hitting your face on the pavement because there's no water at the end.
Exactly. That's a great. I'll keep that with me to use in the future.
It's just not like it. Exactly like and you can eat shit if you want. It's easy, you know.
Yeah.
But.
And we also have plenty of positive things to talk about, which we'll on the next podcast that I'm on, hopefully. And I want to talk about books too, and
dude,
favorite authors. We could do a book club, book of the month or something.
That'd be cool.
Guys. And we could start featuring fun stuff like that. And
that'd be cool. We could also do a collab podcast if you want to. We could figure something out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Throw a name for it. Yeah. Like I don't know what we could do it, but we could do it because I always want to do a mental health and like addiction, and like you're the perfect person for that.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
So
we could also maybe build an app or something. Or
that would be sick.
Yeah.
That'd be sick. There's a lot of things we could explore.
Yeah. For my final project for school, I want to build an app or a website based around like addiction help and counseling.
Do you want it to be like up and running and like?
Well, it won't be like programmed because when you design a site at first, you do all the front end visuals and then you hand it off, and a coder takes the codes from that program and they actually build the site so it's integrated into the internet and people can use it. So it'll be a prototype, but if I sold the app, then it would get programmed and it would be available for people to use.
That'd be sick, dude.
We'll see what happens. I have a lot of work to do, so.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
So fun projects my own individual projects won't really start till after school, and I finish up school at the end of November, so.
You're finishing up soon.
Dude, yeah, it's been a long, quick, and crazy all-around process. It
Totally.
flew by, but it's been good. I've been learning a lot.
Are you excited? Do you have any more group projects coming up, or is it mostly
Dude,
single?
I think I just got through my last group project, which is good. Now the last section is learning some of that coding, actually, developing our portfolios and resumes, and my final project, which I get to choose whatever I want to do. If they let me, I might just build my own website and put my portfolio on there and try to make one big thing. Because I have my fine arts portfolio, my graphic design, and now my UX UI portfolio, and I want to display them all on the same site. So if they let me do that, I'll probably do that. If not, I'm going to probably try to design a phone app around seeking help through something where you can talk to other people struggling, like a social media platform for just addicts to talk to each other and provide help.
That'd be sick. There's like BetterHelp where it's like those dudes like it's like a mental health thing. Like they have you get to talk to doctors, but like if you have one-on-one talking to other addicts, like about like your stories or whatever, would it be anonymous?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. I don't think it has to be. You could create a username.
Yeah, that would be sick.
If you create a username and a profile.
It would be sick if you made a program. If you in that program you could choose to be anonymous or not.
Yeah,
that would be dope. Because like a lot of people probably want to be like known, and a lot of people probably like.
The main issue I'd have to get around though is people using the app to sell drugs. It would have to be heavily moderated, just like Reddit, and which costs money to get moderators to go and do all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's doable. But
but that's a good idea.
That would be the main issue is people using the platform to sell drugs. So I would have to try to get around that somehow. But it's on the app list.
If you could totally do that. I wonder if you could have some kind of thing where you have to have a certain amount of checklist. That's gonna be fucking hard because it's so hard. Like it's so easy to sell drugs.
Yeah. All those things are. And also, honestly, that would be somebody else's problem after I built the app. Like, if someone bought that idea and we built out the application, that would be who's ever funding it, whoever has that capital, that would be hiring moderators, and it would be a company that,
But I think that could be a real big deal.
Yeah.
Because I
have no idea what's going to happen. I'm just going to keep trying to get better jobs in creative tech roles
you will.
And make my own apps until one sells. That's the main thing. If you can make apps and websites and try to sell an idea, that's where you can start making some real money.
Paul's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Sell an idea. Basically, yeah. So who knows what's gonna happen though, guys? I'm just trying my best, and dude, Josh, you know how far I've come.
I do.
And I know how far you're gonna go, but I think we're both living proof that like you can get through anything. It's a miracle that either one of us is alive, an absolute miracle.
Agreed.
It's just ridiculous.
I would say there, like, because I don't like to use that word lightly, but I think that is true.
Yeah.
We should be dead. Like, so many times.
Died multiple times and somehow just either woken up or been brought back. It's insane.
It's been one or two times, and yeah, we've had many a friend not come back.
Yeah, and we're coming up on the anniversary of one of our best friends.
Yeah.
October 19th, our good friend Red.
Yeah. Fucking
it's horrible that happens so often in the lifestyle that we live in, obviously, but it's also a great lesson every time of when you see what that pain puts people through, their family, their friends, whoever. You see that's good enough reason right there not to want to do that yourself, because you end up just hurting people and you're gone. That's it. That's really all it does. It doesn't make any meaningful impact. It just, you're gone and a bunch of people suffer because of it.
It sucks. It's the shittiest thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like one of the best people, one of the sweetest, one of the kindest, best people that we know. I don't know. You guys probably know. Some of you guys definitely know Red. But fucking, yeah, it was just, it was a tragedy is what it was. It was just a fucking tragedy. It was such a complicated death too. It was very complicated.
Yeah, and it's always the one you would not expect.
Every time.
A lot of the times.
Almost every time.
The people you just would not expect. This kid never touched a needle. Like the rest of us are going so ham. This kid actually had it pretty under control. It's just wrong combination, wrong timing. A lot of things just went wrong that day.
Everything went wrong that day.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I just lost Jack too, suicidal. Rest in peace, Jack. He was reminded me a lot of Red. He's just a fucking sweet kid. And like, he just couldn't, he had to check out, man. But, rest in peace to both of them.
Rest in peace. And little segue here. I also recently lost a friend that was a former addict, clean and doing well for years. He came back. He was abroad living in China working. He came back because of COVID and just died in his sleep with absolutely no drugs in his system. No idea what happened still with the family. Just passed away. He was only 25 or 26.
Holy shit.
So right there, what I think the point I'm trying to make is like take every day as a gift and a blessing, because even if you're listening and you're not a drug addict or your life's constantly at risk or whatever, you could still die randomly at any point in time. So value each second you have with yourself, your loved ones, and try to make the absolute best out of it, because you just never know.
You never know. Aneurysm, my fucking great aunt fell through a fucking glass windshield. I mean, like,
Yeah,
you never know. You never know.
You never know.
It's horrible. Jen, I think under a bridge.
Yeah, Jen, that's another story. She was one of our former drug dealers. This poor woman, she was very high up in a Fortune 500 company. She was making six figures, doing really well. Got in a car accident. I mean, this probably was 15 or 20 years ago.
It was a while ago.
Prescribed painkillers. Got addicted.
Typical story, by the way.
Yeah, typical story.
Typical story.
Got addicted over the years. So she'd be on these things for probably 5+ years at this point. They cut her script. So she's obviously in withdrawal, starts seeking street drugs, and fast forward 15 years, she's almost 50, completely strung out on heroin, dealer kind of. God knows what she was doing when she wasn't with us, but she was a sweet woman. She was always very kind, and she died frozen under a bridge last year.
As far as we know.
As far as we know.
And that was that. And that was that, man. And that
story did not have to end though, you know.
No, man. Her daughter Brooke she had an 8-year-old, 19-year-old, well, probably 20.
She's got a couple of
She had 2 daughters. Yeah, but Brooke was so cool.
She worked at that Taco Bell.
Yeah, I used to go to Taco Bell and get Slurpees. I drove Brooke actually to her friend's house. It was like 45 minutes away. Like, it's these random stories, man. And like, I lived with this kid Chris for a while too, and like I don't know how he's doing now or whatever, and everything. It was a really fucking crazy story. It was just really, everything about it was uncomfortable, but you know, he was a bit messed up in the head, and like I don't know what the fuck happened to him right now. I don't know if he's dead or I think he's alive and kicking, but it's weird because he was kind of not a good. He's not a great guy. He wasn't like, I want to say he was a stand-up guy.
Who are we talking about? Sorry.
Chris.
Chris. God. Is he around?
I don't know. That's what I was talking about.
Sorry. I apologize. People in the world, I had to respond to a message really quick.
Yeah, he was, but man, he was, damn, I left some nice headphones and some recording equipment at his house.
That dude was one of the craziest people I've ever met in my life.
I lived with him for 7 days. I've lived with
schizophrenia. Barely survived it.
I know. No, I know. I got
Narcan, but he also almost like choked you out because he was having a schizophrenic breakdown.
Dude, that was so nuts. And dude, we were dealing legit with the cartel.
Yeah,
like, it was scary. Like I was in the passenger seat, like freaked out. But like you never know, because like you know, he's probably doing fine now and everything, and well, I don't know, he's probably not doing fine now actually.
God knows if he's alive, or he's probably either alive and in prison or dead for some cartel related shit, because he was in deep. He was in deep. He was trying to make money. He was good at making money, but he was not stable, man. And I've lived with my schizophrenic uncle, and well, he's schizoaffective. And then my cousin who's schizophrenic, who's been in Pueblo for 3 years, unfortunately. You know, Mom, we need to send him a care package. But it was just, he was the sweetest kid. He lived with us for a year when we were 12, and I loved him to death, man. And he came out here, and he was schizophrenic, and he was smoking meth, and like I would sit there and smoke with him, smoke weed in the back, and just listen to him talk and everything. And it was just like, it was so weird. I always find people with like serious mental illness really interesting, you know? Yeah. But it's you never know. It could be you know? Seriously though. It could be. Yeah. Well, you know, I think we could leave it at that too. A lot of tragedy can occur in life, but it's really how you choose to, you know, embrace it and deal with it. You can choose to let it roll right over you, or you can take it head on and figure out what you can salvage from the wreckage and what you can gain from the lesson. And that's about it. That's all you can really do in life. That's all you can do in life. Yeah. Every day's a struggle, and you just gotta enjoy the struggle with it sometimes.
Every day. That's why I can't. Joe Budden, not Joe Budden. I think Charlamagne the God, the Everyday Struggle, man. They have a radio show, and it really is everyday struggle. Yeah. That's just what it is. Yeah. You got anything? You got closing?
Closing, man. Thanks for having me on. I've been wanting to get on the podcast for a while. Guys, if you're watching this, please share, get this out there. We want to get followers rolling here. This kid deserves it. He's going to be a great podcaster someday. And I think this is a beautiful start. We're just vlogging our thoughts and sharing them with the world. It's a beautiful idea. It's a great way to spread messages of positivity, creativity, being humble, loving everybody. I mean, that's what these kind of platforms should be used for. So that's what we're here for. And give a follow, give a like. And I'll see you next time Josh has me on. Agreed. Yeah, Beau will be back soon. And you guys take it easy. Peace, thugs. And seriously, stay safe. Stay healthy if you can. Love you all. And follow all that. You'll be good. And peace, my friends.